Here, taste one of these. She held the poison apple out to Snow White. ほら、ごらん、つやつやとして真っ赤なリンゴ。さあさあ、召し上がれ。Long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a lovely young princess named Snow White. Her stepmother, the queen, was cruel and vain. She hated anyone whose beauty rivaled her own, and she watched her stepdaughter with angry, jealous eyes. The queen had magic powers and owned a wondrous mirror that spoke. Every day she stood before it and asked, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" And every day the mirror answered, "You're the fairest one of all. O Queen, the fairest our eyes have ever seen." As time passed, Snow White grew more and more beautiful, and the Queen grew more and more envious. So she forced the princess to dress in rags and work from dawn to dusk. Despite all the hard work, Snow White stayed sweet, gentle, and cheerful. Day after day, she washed, swept, and scrubbed. And day after day, she dreamt of a handsome prince who would come and carry her off to his castle. One day, when the queen spoke to her mirror, it replied with the news she had been dreading. There was now someone even more beautiful than the queen, and that person was Snow White. The queen sent for her huntsman. "Take Snow White deep into the forest," she said. "And there, my faithful huntsman, you will kill her." The man begged the queen to have mercy, but she would not be persuaded. "Silence," she warned. "You know the penalty if you fail." The next day, Snow White, never suspecting that she was in danger, went off with the huntsman. When they were deep in the woods, the huntsman drew his knife. Then, suddenly, he fell to his knees. "I can't do it," he sobbed. "Forgive me." He told her it was the queen who had ordered this wicked deed. "The queen?" gasped Snow White. "She's jealous of you," said the huntsman. "She will stop at nothing. Quick, run away and don't come back. I'll lie to the queen. Now go, run, hide." Frightened, Snow White fled through the woods. Branches tore at her clothes. Sharp twigs scratched her arms and legs. Strange eyes stared from the shadows. Danger lurked everywhere. Snow White ran on and on. At last, Snow White fell wearily to the ground and began to weep. The gentle animals of the forest gathered around and tried to comfort her. Chirping and chattering, they led her to a tiny cottage. "Oh," said Snow White, "it's adorable, just like a doll's house." But inside, the little tables and chairs were covered with dust, and the sink was filled with dirty dishes. "My," said Snow White, "perhaps the children who live here are orphans and need someone to take care of them. Maybe they'll let me stay and keep house for them." The animals all helped, and soon the place was neat and tidy. Meanwhile, the 7 dwarfs who lived in a cottage were heading home from the mine where they worked. The dwarfs were amazed to find their house so clean. They were even more amazed when they went upstairs and saw Snow White. "It's a girl," said Dog. "She's beautiful," sighed Bashful. "Ah," said Grumpy, "she's going to be trouble. Mark my words." Snow White woke with a start and saw the dwarfs gathered around her. "Why, you're not children," she said. "You're little men." "I read your names on the beds," she continued. "Let me guess who you are. You're Doc, and you're Bashful, you're Sleepy, you're Sneezy, and you're Happy and Dopey. And you must be Grumpy." When Snow White told the dwarfs about the queen's plan to kill her, they decided that she should stay with them. "We're asking for trouble," huffed Grumpy. "But we can't let her get caught by that wicked queen," said Doc. The others agreed. That night after supper, they all sang and danced and made merry music. Bashful played the concertina. Happy tapped the drums. Sleepy tooted his horn. Grumpy played the organ, and Dopey wiggled his ears. Snow White loved her new friends, and she felt safe at last. Meanwhile, the queen had learned from her mirror that Snow White was still alive. With a magic spell, she turned herself into an old peddler woman. She filled a basket with apples, putting a poisoned apple on top. One bite, she cackled, and Snow White will sleep forever. Then I'll be the fairest in the land. The next morning, before they left for the mine, the dwarfs warned Snow White to be on her guard. Don't let nobody or nothing in the house, said Grumpy. Oh, Grumpy, said Snow White, you do care. I'll be careful, I promise. She kissed him and the others goodbye, and the dwarfs went cheerfully off to work. A few minutes later, the queen came to the kitchen window. Making pies, dearie? She asked. It's apple pies the men love. Here, taste one of these. She held the poisoned apple out to Snow White. Snow White remembered the dwarf's warning. But the woman looked harmless, and the apple looked delicious. Snow White bit the apple. Then, with a sigh, she fell to the floor. Told by the birds and animals that something was wrong, the dwarfs raced back to the cottage. They saw the queen sneaking off, and they ran after her. As storm clouds gathered and rain began to fall, the dwarfs chased the queen to the top of a high, rocky mountain. Crack! There was a flash of lightning, and the evil queen fell to her doom below. But it was too late for Snow White. She was so beautiful, even in death, that the dwarfs could not bear to part with her. They built her a coffin of glass and gold, and day and night they kept watch over their beloved princess. One day, a handsome prince came riding through the forest. As soon as he saw Snow White, he fell in love with her. Kneeling by her coffin, he kissed her. Snow White sat up, blinked, and smiled. The prince's kiss had broken the evil spell. As the dwarfs danced with joy, the prince carried Snow White off to his castle, where they lived happily ever after. 白雪姫はきれいで優しいお姫様でしたが、小さい時にお母様が亡くなりました。お城にやってきた2度目のお妃は魔法の鏡を持っていて、毎日尋ねます。鏡よ鏡、国中で一番美しいのは誰？はい、それはお妃様。と鏡はいつも答えました。お妃様は美しい。でも国中で一番きれいなのは白雪姫。まあ悔しい。怒ったお妃は家来の狩人に命令しました。白雪姫を殺して心臓箱に入れておいで。狩人は白雪姫を森へ連れて行きました。けれどもきれいで優しいお姫様を殺すことなどどうしてもできません。そこで白雪姫をこっそり逃がしてくれました。白雪姫が一人ぼっちで泣きながら森の奥へ入っていくと、ウサギやシカやリスたちが集まってきました。動物たちに連れられて白雪姫は森の奥の小さな家に行きました。小さなテーブルに小さな椅子が7つ、お皿もコップも7つずつ。まあ、一体誰のお家でしょう。疲れていた白雪姫は小さなベッドで眠ってしまいました。夜になって7人の小人が帰ってきました。この家は小人たちのものだったのです。おい、誰かベッドで寝ているぞ。ご覧よ、きれいなお姫様だ。小人たちは白雪姫が森に来たわけを聞くと言いました。よかったらここで暮らさないかね。こうして白雪姫は7人の小人と暮らすことになりました。山へ出かけてダイヤを掘るのが小人たちの仕事です。白雪姫は留守番をしてお掃除、洗濯、食事の支度。森の動物たちが来て楽しいひとときを過ごすこともありました。夜は賑やかに歌ったり踊ったり。 そうしてみんなは幸せな毎日を送っていました。お城ではお妃が魔法の鏡に尋ねました。鏡よ鏡、国中で一番美しいのは誰？はい、それは森の奥の小人の家で暮らしている白雪姫。なんだって？お妃は大層悔しがって醜いおばあさんに化けると毒のリンゴを作りました。一口かじっただけで死んでしまう恐ろしいリンゴさ。ひっひっひ。おばあさんに化けたお妃は森の奥の小人の家へやってきました。きれいな娘さん、リンゴはいりませんかね。ほら、ごらん、つやつやとして真っ赤なリンゴ。さあさあ、召し上がれ。お金なんかいただきませんよ。まあ、親切なおばあさん。白雪姫は何も知らずに毒のリンゴを受け取りました。そしてほんの一口かじった途端に息が止まってばったり倒れてしまいました。白雪姫、もう一度笑顔を見せておくれ。山から帰った7人の小人たちは涙が枯れるほど泣きました。こんなにきれいなお姫様をお墓に埋めるなんてとてもできないよ。そうだ、ガラスの棺を作って寝かせよう。小人たちがガラスの棺に白雪姫を寝かせて守っていると、若い王子が通りかかりました。なんてきれいなお姫様だろう。若い王子は白雪姫に優しくキスをしました。すると白雪姫はパッチリと目を開きました。愛の力で毒リンゴの呪いが解けたのです。よかったよかった、万歳。小人たちは大喜び。白雪姫は馬に乗り王子の国へ行くことになりました。さようなら、さようなら皆さん。白雪姫は王子の花嫁になっていつまでも仲良く幸せに暮らすでしょう。